Hi guys, welcome back to United Star and welcome to the preview of West Ham versus Manchester United, arguably the most important game we're going to face this season. Today we have Ishank from MUSC Jaipur with us and Tanmay from MUSC Delhi NCR. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the most crucial leg of the season as we go into the final showdown. So guys, let's get started quickly with a response about last night. Are you guys optimistic for the end of the season? Are you guys feeling
You
timid?
know, uh,
What's the scenario?
uh, to start with, I just want to say one word: pathetic. I was not expecting that much bad result. I was expecting some, a good challenge because Chelsea was in good form throughout the season, throughout the challenge when the lockdown lifted. Okay, and I was expecting a good score. I was expecting 1-1 draw, and then uh, uh, I was looking for the penalties. But our legend David De Gea, he let us down like always. And there is something I want to share which I noticed in the game: energy, no energy throughout the game, no confidence throughout the game. And I missed Luke Shaw in the lineup yesterday. Now I know the value of him in the lineup because Brendan Williams didn't play well today. So many miss passes, and Pogba should have started yesterday. Pogba should be in the lineup every game now because Pogba and Bruno have to connect well to creating chances. Rashford playing alone in the uh, front line. No Martial, no Greenwood, and James. I didn't see him in the whole game. He was nowhere. And why Ole is starting James in front of Kurt Zuma and Rudiger? This was my question only because they both are very strong physically, and James is not that stronger. So this was something fishy for me. Why Ole started with James in the place of Igalo? Igalo would be better choice that time.
So, Ishank, you've heard some harsh criticisms about the team, but are you optimistic? What's your outlook towards the final phase of the season?
Yeah, I'm pretty much optimistic. Like last night's game was, of course, really disappointing, and like it was near heartbreaking for me because like we've been such good form since Bruno came, and like last night, of course, De Gea, Maguire, the our whole back four, like all they let us down. But I was also disappointed from the side of Oli because like I didn't predict that we'll again go to that sitting back and hitting on the break thing as we have defeated Chelsea the past three times. I expected something more in the attacking third, and like we'll play on the front foot because we've been playing like that since the restart and since Bruno has come in the team. So of course it was really disappointing. And yes, but I'm pretty optimistic. Like of course this the players will take this result as a kick up the backside, and like I guess we'll get third, not even fourth. We'll win both our games and we'll get third.
So, Prasham, we spoke about in our review, and even we believe that the team is actually doing well and optimistic. Do you think this all comes down to fatigue? Do you think the players are just genuinely very tired, injured, and being pushed to their limits?
I think Rishi, I can't keep on saying fatigue again and again because all teams are playing same number of games. First, I thought it was fatigue, but I think the warning signs were there because against Palace as well as the game before that, we were playing slower and slower. Against Southampton, we were playing slower and slower, and the press we weren't being able to deal with it. So I feel somehow that now teams have figured out that instead of playing the low block against us, they can just press us, and we aren't able to handle it. So I think the warning signs were there, and we capitulated under those. However, I am optimistic. Like we will finish in third place. We'll be able to handle West Ham and Leicester. But we need to be really wary of the press and the physicality that teams will now bring against us because that is where we are crumbling. And we cannot start slowly in games. We have to start with high energy and high confidence. Otherwise, what happened against Chelsea will happen against big teams.
So, guys, let's just jump into the preview and let's hear your starting 11s. Tanmay, why don't we start with you?
I'll go with Romero between the posts for the rest of the season. Van Bissaka, we don't have a replacement because Van Bissaka didn't have a good game also. So Van Bissaka and Brendan Williams on the wings, on the wing backs. And I'll go with we don't have any good center back in our academy which we can promote for first games. So we have only two options, Lindelof and Maguire, no other options. And what I think is we have three options in midfield, no other options: Matic, Bruno, and Pogba. Matic Matic have to start the game because McTominay, he's a proper CM. He can't play CDM properly throughout the 90 minutes. So for me, midfield of three: Bruno, Pogba, and Matic, and the front line of three. I'll go with same, just one change: Romero in the goal.
Ishank, what do you think? Is it worth risking Romero despite De Gea's performances?
I really don't think we should start Romero, because like if now we start Romero after this performance of Daya, his confidence levels which are already pretty down, he'll just vanish. His confidence level will vanish. I'll go with our strongest 11, that is De Gea, Van Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, and I hope Shaw can be back. And if Shaw can't start, I'll start Fosu Mensah in place of Brandon Williams, because like after his stitches, Brandon Williams is playing in like on thin ice, and he's really nervous around the pitch, according to me. And I'll go with our best midfield, that is Matic, Bruno, and Pogba, and front three: Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. We just have to go with this team because when we use our reserves and our substitutes, it's a big drop off.
So Prasham,
there's a thick reason I'm giving. I want to give Romero a chance because De Gea wants to have in his mind that he has a challenge in the team. He don't have to think that he's the only goalkeeper Ole can play. Ole can put in the team. He has a competition in the team, and Romero is also a very good experienced goalkeeper. He has saved so many times. Also, he's our cup. He's a cup starter for the last I think 4 years now. He's joined us in 2015, and he is playing every cup game, and he has a pretty good record in the cup games. I think he has around 80% games. He has a clean sheet ratio. So for me, this is a thick reason why I wanted to I want Romero to start, because De Gea has to keep mentality in his mind that he has a challenge. He has a good competition between the six.
Tanmay, I agree with you. Competition is very healthy. But Prasham, in this game, Moyes has had some pretty good results after the lockdown has ended. And I'm sure he's been watching the last 3 games of United where the high press has really worked well against United. So what do you think? Is this the game to risk a new tactic, maybe long ball and a little bit of aggression? Or is this the game to stick to our strengths and maybe not risk Romero either?
So Rishi, I think it's very clear that in my head, first of all, that I agree that Fosu Mensah will start because Brandon Williams looked all over the place, and Luke Shaw I don't think is going to be fit till the end of the season now. And I think from what Ole has been saying, I don't think he's going to change De Gea and goal. But I think what you said about West Ham is interesting because, in fact, Michail Antonio, of course, has been in a hot vein of form. He's got those 4 goals against Norwich. Then he got another goal. He's got about, I think, 7 goals since restart. And Thomas Souček has been the silent performer in West Ham. He has run the most number of kilometers in the Premier League since restart. So these two, I think, are the key players that we have to watch out for. Now, coming to the tactical side of it, I think West Ham will press us because Antonio is rapid and Souček runs a lot. So they will press us. So I don't think we should play long balls per se. But what I suggest is a mix of play when we are under pressure in the back, we need to play quicker. We need to play one-touch football. We need to play in those triangles and get out of those positions very quickly. What happened against Chelsea is we never got going. We just kept passing amongst us. Lindelof and Maguire kept passing between them. And I don't think that is the best strategy. So you need to keep, while the players are also at fault for that, I think even Ole needs to sort of get that message across. There is 2 drinks breaks and a half time to get that message across, right? You get that message across to have variation in passing. You need to play some long balls. You need to play some short balls. It has to be a mix. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expecting same results is stupid. And that is what my issue was yesterday, that we never tried. So I think, no, we don't need to play the long balls. We can handle the press. All we need to do is start off more quickly. We never got out of the blocks. We can't let teams settle in and then try to attack. And that all is not going to work. And second, quick passing when the press is on. one touch, two touch, release and run. Because we have the pace. Use Martial, Rashford and Greenwood. Use Pogba's physicality. We need to use those things. We aren't using them right now.
Ishank, I agree with Prasham. I think from yesterday's game, we showed way too much respect to Chelsea, and the physicality absolutely beat us. So, do you think we should approach this game as if we have everything to lose, or we should approach this game as if we are the best and we're going to go out guns blazing?
Of course, like it's a game against West Ham after all. Like they're in the bottom half of the table. We should not respect them at all. And we're Man United, for God's sakes. We have to be arrogant in these kind of games. We have to be arrogant in games against Chelsea, Spurs, City, Liverpool even, because we are goddamn Man United and we're the most successful club in this country. So we just can't be nervous in front of these teams and mid-table teams like Arsenal and stuff. We just can't.
I
So
love
according
that.
to me,
I love that spirit.
One more
That's
thing.
the spirit that we need.
yeah.
I think we should-
According to me, like yeah.
But we
Yeah, no, I
can't.
was thinking just one more thing that we haven't spoken about at all is that Leicester lost the Spurs 3-0, right? On goal difference, we are level with them now. So if we go out there and like what Tank is saying, be arrogant and boss the game, if we get 4 or 5 goals tomorrow, we will be ahead them by that much on goal difference when we play them. So even if we
Yeah.
lose that game, it might be okay and we might sail through in the top 4. So I think tomorrow's game is very crucial.
Yeah, of course. Like in tomorrow's game, I agree. We have to increase our goal difference, and like this high press has like troubled us really, really much. But I don't think this West Ham team will press that high because it's Moyes after all. We know his game. We know what football he likes to play. He'll just sit back and he'll just he'll try to hit us on the break. I think they'll press even in some spells of the game, but they don't have the players and they don't have the physical like the stamina of players to press us for the whole 90 minutes. But like when teams are pressing us, we are really nervous on the ball, according to me, and we are really slow in our passing. Like our build-up play in our own half is really slow, and that's the main reason I guess we are struggling this much. But that has to be taken care of in the training ground by the coaches, and that is what tactics are all about.
Okay, guys, so let's quickly wrap this up with your predictions on the man of the match. Tanmay, I'm going to get started with you. What are you expecting from this game?
Sorry, you are not audible. Please, can you repeat,
Yeah.
please?
Tanmay, I'm going to get started with the predictions. So what are you expecting
Okay,
of this
yeah.
game, and who's going to be your man of the match?
Yeah, this is a must-win game for us. Do or die, win or lose. Okay, if we have to win both of the games. This is a very simple formula. So I'll go with 3-0 because we have to start good because we after the lockdown we are starting very really slowly. After the first dream break, we start start the real momentum. So I need team to score first goal before 20 minutes to start good because when you score a goal very quickly, the team gets that confident that we can score 2 or 3 more goals. So I'll go with the score line of 3-0 and Bruno and Pogba both to score.
Prasham, what about you?
I think it'll be 4-1. I think we'll concede a goal. I think Antonio is in brilliant form. I think he's going to get a goal. And my man of the match would be Rashford. I'm going to go with Rashford because I think he's hungry. He looks hungry and he knows what United it means to play for Man United. And I think he's going to bring a big response tomorrow.
Ishank, do you agree with Prasham, or do you have something else in mind?
Yeah, I also think that we'll concede one because of the mentality of our defense right now. That they are really nervous on the ball, and I guess the score will be 3-1. And as the last time I predicted, I think like the Bruno will be man of the match. This game is perfectly set up for him, and he'll just do it.
I'm going to have to agree with both of you, and I agree with Tanmay. I think we're going to win this game 3-0. We're going to show the fraud that Moyes is and the way he ruined our club. We're going to take absolute revenge for that. And guys, let's not have a down sentiment. We have everything to fight for. We have everything to play for. We would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out MUSC Delhi and MUSC Jaipur in the description. We'll see you guys in the next video. Glory, glory, Man United, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.